am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How are you feeling about that? And that this will be baby number 4 for you, Cardi.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually I'm excited. Y'all wanted to know, right? Now y'all know. Now y'all could buy my album so I could buy Pampers and diapers and all that type of stuff. I told ya. Now go support my album because I'm a mother of 4 now.
Yes.
Get yourself a hot coffee and a hotter seat. Cause Cardi B has done it again. And this time, the rumor mill wasn't wrong. After weeks of whispers, blurry paparazzi shots, and endless fan speculation, the Bronx superstar has finally confirmed what the world suspected. She's pregnant, and the father is none other than NFL star Stefon Diggs. The confirmation came during a sit-down with Gayle King on CBS Mornings, where Gayle wasted no time asking the question everyone's been dying to know.
And so the latest rumor about you is that you are having a baby, and I want to know what, if anything, you want to share about that with the class.
Well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs.
Cardi didn't dodge, didn't play coy. She simply said, well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs. With that, the internet exploded. This baby will be her 4th, following Culture, Wave, and Blossom, the 3 children she shares with estranged husband, Offset. What's striking isn't just the pregnancy, it's the timing. Cardi has been in the middle of a messy divorce, juggling court appearances, music rollouts, and now preparing to bring another life into the world.
Yes. I mean, everybody kept telling me, like, I should have fun. And we had a little bit of too much fun, and now I'm here. We had too much fun. And yeah, we're very excited. We're very happy.
She told Gayle she feels excited, happy, strong, and powerful, describing how proud she is to still be grinding while carrying a child. Fans may remember her shutting down pregnancy rumors before denying them on social media, clapping back at trolls, even throwing a pen at a disrespectful reporter. But now there's no denying it. The cat is officially out of the bag. Cardi is starting a new chapter with a new man, and whether people love it or not, she made sure the announcement came on her own terms. But if you think the story ends here, you're wrong, because the drama surrounding Stefon Diggs' personal life makes this pregnancy even messier than it looks on the surface.
Okay, you guys, so Stefon Diggs has yet another baby on the way again. Now, if you're not up to date, Stefon Diggs just had a baby girl a few months ago by a woman who goes by the name Giselle. Now, just to be clear, he already has a daughter that he had years ago, so this is his alleged second child. So there's another woman who lives in New York who has allegedly been dealing with Steph for a while, who is allegedly pregnant by him. Now, this would be baby number 3. But now there is another woman coming forward who is allegedly pregnant with twins.
If Cardi thought her announcement would quiet speculation, it only turned up the volume, because Stefon Diggs isn't exactly coming into this relationship without baggage. Fans were quick to point out the NFL star has been hit with whispers of fathering multiple children in the same year, with some blogs alleging he might have as many as 5 on the way, including twins. Cardi kept the focus on love during her CBS interview, praising Stefon for making her feel safe and confident.
To see you this happy, because we all know you went through a very messy divorce with Offset. Were you worried about opening your heart up again, or falling in love again, or even dating again? Were you concerned about that?
Yes. And one thing about dating, it's like, when you date, you feel like you're 16 again, and I don't really...
Well, you want to feel like you're 16. You want to meet somebody that makes you feel like that.
You do, but then it's like you also remember what you dealt with when you were 16. So it's like restarting again.
And even joking about how she screams at the TV for coaches to pass him the ball. But beneath the jokes lies a storm brewing. This is not just about a celebrity pregnancy. It's about the timing, the optics, and whether Cardi is once again stepping into another complicated love story. The timing couldn't be more chaotic.
Yeah. And being open
and vulnerable.
And one time he just told me it's like, let me heal you. Give me a chance for me to heal you. And it's like, okay.
He said, let me heal you.
Cardi has a brand new album, My The Drama, set to drop within days, and a world tour looming right after. She insists the baby will arrive before rehearsals, but critics are already calling it unrealistic, pointing out the physical strain of recovering from childbirth while preparing for grueling back-to-back performances. Supporters say she's proved before that she can balance motherhood and career, but skeptics warn that history might be repeating itself, another high-profile pregnancy clashing with the biggest moments of her career. Still, if there's one thing Cardi knows how to do, it's shock the world and keep moving forward. But as she beams about her happiness with Diggs, the bigger question lingers. Will this relationship truly be different from the one she just escaped? Or is she walking straight into another storm? The divorce papers were filed back in July 2024, but the process has been messy, drawn out, and emotionally draining.
Now I'm crashing out. Because now I'm going to crash out, and I don't give a I want you to die, but I want you to die slow. I want to be done with this marriage. Like, I feel like I'm tied up. A lot of drama.
Offset has already been throwing subliminal shots online, and insiders say he's furious about the pregnancy. Some claim he's been spiraling behind the scenes, unable to cope with watching Cardi build a future with someone else. What makes it even more complicated is Cardi admitting she hasn't even told her parents yet, saying she's scared to break the news before the interview airs.
You know what's so crazy? I haven't even told my parents.
No way, Cardi.
I haven't told my parents. They just be looking at me like,
Cardi. Wait. Back up. Why haven't you told them?
Because I'm scared of them. I'm very scared of my parents.
That confession shocked fans. If the world already knew, surely her family did too. But mothers always know, and people are certain her mom had already figured it out. The real issue isn't secrecy though, it's legacy. Cardi has 3 children with Offset, Culture, Wave, and Little Blossom, who just turned 1. Adding a 4th child from a new partner while still legally tied to her ex only fuels the narrative that she's trapped in a cycle of toxic relationships. To fans, it looks like she traded one Offset for another, especially since Diggs comes with his own rumored baggage. Offset's silence is loud, but the public is already writing the script. He'll be painted as the wounded ex while Cardi risks being labeled reckless for moving on too quickly. The question is, can Cardi's brand survive another round of personal chaos? Or will this pregnancy overshadow everything she's built? Cardi B isn't just juggling a pregnancy, she's balancing the weight of an empire.
It's official. Which, first of all, let me tell you something. I told y'all, honey, that Cardi B was pregnant. But anyway, it is official. Y'all, we just have to pray and keep all parties lifted in prayer that Cardi B is pregnant. She officially made the statement that she's pregnant. But my thing is, I don't know how these girls do this, but you got, 3 babies for Offsetting, and now you having about to have a baby for this damn man who ain't gonna be with you, because these football players, all these athletes don't stay around long, honey. But anyway, congratulations, Cardi B, you're loved, honey, you're the baddest, and you're all that and a bag of chips, and everything else, so, Cardi, we love you, congratulations.
With her album My the Drama about to drop, and a major tour scheduled, critics are already questioning whether she's putting too much on her plate. Cardi insists the baby will arrive before rehearsals, so she can jump right into work. But the reality of recovering from childbirth while preparing for the physical demands of a global tour has fans concerned. Some argue it's reckless to push herself so soon, while others see it as proof of her relentless drive to succeed. Social media has been divided. Her supporters are applauding her for breaking barriers as a woman who refuses to pause her career for motherhood, while skeptics accuse her of prioritizing image over health. And then there's the industry angle. Cardi has always been a brand magnet, but sponsors and investors get nervous when personal drama threatens to overshadow professional commitments. Every slip-up could be magnified, every delay framed as proof she's losing control. The public has also noticed a shift in her music since her relationship with Offset, with some fans claiming her energy hasn't been the same, and wondering if this new romance with Diggs will empower her or drain her further.
Is the baby, I'm not asking for your due date, but is baby coming this year or next?
It's coming before my tour.
Before your tour? When's your tour?
In February.
Whoa, Cardi.
Yeah.
Cardi has proven she can defy the odds, but the pressure is building, and one misstep could change how the world sees her not just as an artist, but as a mother and a woman in control of her own story. Cardi B's pregnancy announcement sparked more than just chatter about diapers and baby names. It reignited conversations about her choices in love, and whether she's repeating the same painful cycles. Her relationship with Offset was plagued by betrayal, infidelity, and public humiliation, yet she stayed for years trying to make it work. Critics now argue she jumped too quickly into another high-profile romance without truly healing, and that Stefon Diggs may simply be another version of the same heartbreak.
You're gonna go on tour in February?
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm very ready.
Why
Even when I'm pregnant, I'm very, very ready.
Commentators online have pointed out that just because your faves do it doesn't mean you should, warning fans not to romanticize toxic love cycles.
Hey, just because Cardi B does it does not mean you should as well. After a relationship, especially if that relationship put you through so much turmoil, do not hop into another relationship without doing the healing. Allow yourself to heal, allow yourself to sit in silence and peace and reflect on your partner's part, what they did, and also your part. Allow yourself to find yourself again, find your footing, find your fire. Focus on the things that are meant for you to do before hopping into another relationship. When you don't take the time to actually reflect on the past relationship, you will literally keep repeating the cycle over and over and over. And there has to get to a point where you no longer can sit and be like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Because it's you at this point. Because at this point, you are the common denominator.
The bigger question is whether Cardi has had the time to reflect on her own role in her past relationship, or if she's masking wounds with the excitement of a new partner. Healing takes solitude, but Cardi's whirlwind lifestyle rarely allows for that. Observers see a woman caught between fame, family, and personal chaos, with her feminine energy being depleted by men who take more than they give. Some even suggest her music has suffered as a result, pointing to the long gap between albums and less impactful hits. If true, it raises the possibility that her personal struggles aren't just gossip, they're reshaping her career. But that wasn't the whole story. The internet wasted no time drawing Offset into the narrative. Cardi may be moving on, but every headline about her pregnancy drags her estranged husband's name into the mix. Fans joke that Offset must be somewhere banging his head against a wall, watching his ex-wife start a family with someone new while their divorce drags on. Others speculate that Cardi is trying to replace what Offset took from her, filling a void without addressing the deeper hurt. Social media voices are also warning about what they call the depletion of feminine energy, a concept that has gained traction online. The idea is that by rushing into back-to-back relationships without fully recharging emotionally, Cardi is losing the very energy that made her magnetic in the first place. Even fans who adore her worry that instead of centering herself, she's tying her identity to men who may not have her best interests at heart.
Even Stevie Wonder could see that Cardi B is pregnant. Is anybody really surprised that Cardi B is pregnant with baby number 4? Anybody? Anybody? I'm just more surprised that Cardi B is going on tour right after she has this baby. I don't know how far along she is, but isn't it a little bit too soon? Like, shouldn't you rest your coochie? Like, rest your coochie for a little bit and then go on tour, Cardi. It's okay to postpone the tour. It's okay, which I have a feeling that you probably will postpone the tour until like maybe like May or June, until the summer. I think that'll be the best thing to do. Rest your coochie, Cardi. It's okay. We could wait. We already waited 17 years for album number 2. We could wait a couple months for your tour, Cardi. It's okay. Rest your coochie. And then another thing I think I'm surprised about, but not really, I'm not really surprised, is that Cardi said that she didn't tell her parents. Even though I'm sure her parents know that she's pregnant. We all know that she's pregnant. Somebody check on Offset. I know Offset's probably banging his head against a wall somewhere in Atlanta or wherever he is. Somebody check on Offset. Congratulations, Cardi. Congratulations on baby number 4.
They see her tour plans and public smiles as performance, not peace. But as critics tear apart her choices, others defend her as a strong woman, navigating life the best way she knows how. The real tension lies in whether Cardi can rewrite her narrative, or whether the patterns will keep defining her. And what happened next would shock everyone. While critics question her judgment, Cardi B is simultaneously breaking industry norms by showing that pregnancy doesn't have to derail a music career. In a business that once demanded female rappers hide pregnancies to stay marketable, Cardi is proudly performing, recording, and preparing to tour while carrying her 4th child. She's proving that motherhood and superstardom can coexist, but the risk is enormous. Fans are already speculating whether she'll postpone the tour, urging her to rest your body, Cardi, instead of rushing back. Some even predict that this pregnancy could further delay her long-awaited 2nd album, feeding doubts about her consistency as an artist. Yet Cardi thrives in chaos, and her supporters argue she has always been underestimated only to prove doubters wrong. Still, the whispers are growing. Is she building a legacy as a trailblazer, or is her personal life overshadowing her craft? Social media memes mocking her choices, comparisons to Offset's infidelity, and jokes about Stefon Diggs' rumored growing list of children all add fuel to the fire.
You are the problem. So just because your faves do it, don't follow into their footsteps. Listen to their music, buy their art, do whatever, but don't follow their footsteps. And let's make this very clear, because some of y'all are still not understanding this. It's not clicking. Just because you have money and you can have a ton of babies does not mean that's the only thing that a child needs. I can't believe I have to say that. A child needs more than money, more than just money, in order to properly raise them. And lastly, hopping from man to man to man before doing your healing, you're literally depleting your feminine energy. Your feminine energy is so incredibly important. It is what helps boost you through life. It is what helps you create to be the best self that you can be. When you are with a man who's depleting you, you lose out. You lose it. Just really think about it. Think about how Cardi B's music has not been the same ever since she got with Offset. He's been depleting her of her feminine energy, of her good energy, her energy that she could have used to really create more art and put out more music. And now she's repeating the same pattern again with another man. The cycle will never stop until you learn your lesson.
Cardi's brand has always been about authenticity and resilience, but this pregnancy will test whether her image can survive another round of scrutiny. The question now is whether she can turn scandal into strength, or if this moment will define her in ways she never intended. Cardi B may have shared her pregnancy news with the world, but behind the smiles, her family dynamic is far more complicated. She admitted she hadn't even told her parents before the interview aired, a confession that shocked fans and hinted at deeper unease. While she laughed it off, critics believe her hesitation shows the strain between her public persona and private reality. Her mother, known for being deeply intuitive, almost certainly suspected the truth long before Cardi confirmed it. That disconnect raises questions. Is Cardi protecting her parents from disappointment or shielding herself from their judgment?
Cardi B done told everybody that she's pregnant with the 4th baby, and it's Stefon Diggs. No shocker. I think we all knew that. But I don't know, y'all. After the court case, y'all remember that video of her dancing in the back, and I think like she was taking her suit off? I don't know why I thought it was like a joke. Like I don't know why I thought she wasn't pregnant. I don't know why I swore it was like a fake something underneath. I don't know why I really didn't think that she was pregnant. But then when she was out at Fashion Week and then she was on the Jennifer Hudson show, I was like, wait, I think she really is pregnant. This is not like a little joke. I don't know why I really for a second thought it was like a joke, like she was just trolling. But no, she is dead serious. She is pregnant.
Adding fuel to the fire are whispers that Stefon Diggs himself has multiple children and possibly more on the way, leaving some to question whether Cardi has traded one turbulent relationship for another. Supporters argue her family will eventually rally around her, as they always do, but skeptics see a woman repeating painful patterns while trying to project confidence. The silence from her parents contrasts sharply with the loud speculation online, making it clear that while Cardi is ready to shout her truth on national television, she may still be hiding private doubts behind closed doors. But that wasn't the last twist in this unfolding storm. Once Cardi's announcement hit the airwaves, the internet did what it always does, turn joy into a circus. Memes flooded timelines, some celebrating her resilience, others mocking her choices. Jokes about Stefon Diggs' alleged growing list of children collided with snarky remarks about Cardi's divorce from Offset, painting her as a woman unable to escape drama no matter who she loves. One viral comment summed it up: she left Offset just to get another Offset. Others pointed to her upcoming tour, questioning how realistic it is to give birth and then jump straight into rehearsals. Rest your body, Cardi, we can wait, fans begged, echoing concerns about her health over her hustle.
We just said he had a baby on the way. That is with a girl. She's a couple months pregnant. She's in New York. Just got word from a very credible source that there's a girl that he's been courting for quite some time. He sent her Mother's Day gifts, sent her watches and shit on Valentine's Day and everything like that. But now she is now pregnant with babies. This is her Instagram. And so right now he's got 3 babies on the way and just had.
But beneath the jokes and judgment lies a harsher reality. Cardi's entire brand is now being tested. Her power has always been her relatability, her ability to be raw and real. Yet with critics painting her as reckless and impulsive, the danger is that she risks becoming more meme than music. Still, history has shown Cardi thrives under pressure, often turning scandals into fuel for her success. The real question is whether this moment will once again prove her unstoppable or finally expose cracks in the armor. And what came next could decide her legacy. Cardi B's pregnancy with Stefon Diggs' child is more than celebrity gossip. It's a crossroads moment for her career, her image, and her personal life. She has already proven she can balance motherhood and music, defying an industry that once demanded female rappers hide their pregnancies. But this time, the stakes are higher. A pending divorce from Offset, a new relationship clouded by rumors, and the demands of an album release and tour all collide at once. Supporters see a woman rewriting the rules, unafraid to live her truth in public, no matter how messy it looks. Critics, however, see patterns, cycles of love, heartbreak, and chaos that keep draining her energy and distracting from her art. Her legacy now hangs on how she navigates this chapter. Will she own the narrative, embrace her vulnerability, and show the world she's stronger than ever? Or will the noise drown out the music? For Cardi, the choice is clear. Keep moving, keep creating, and keep proving the doubters wrong. But whether the world sees her as an icon of resilience or a cautionary tale of repeating mistakes, only time will tell.
Emotional intelligence is just so important.
I
to
understand
me,
that.
you being mindful of just who you are, your behaviors, your traumas, your triggers. Are you in therapy?
That's a good one.
Are you kind?
Oh.
I know. I didn't know until I found out with the rest of the world.
Any chance we'll see you on there?
She didn't ask me.
I'm okay.
How are you navigating this life now? You're a single father and keeping it, positive with the kids. How you doing this?
Just love. Everything starts and ends with love,
Yeah.
And we a family, you know what I'm saying? We're a family. No matter what people say, I block out the noise. At least I block out all the noise. And my kids is gonna live to see all this one day, like always.
Right.
Could Tia Mowry already be getting clowned by her own twin sister for trying to win Corey Hardrict back? Today, we're diving into some juicy developments where fans believe Tamara is quietly shading Tia, while Corey might already be stepping into a new chapter with someone else. Tia opened up in an InStyle interview about feeling alone after her divorce, saying she's never really been alone before. She's always had her sister and her marriage.
I came into this world with a twin, and right after that, I went into a 22-year relationship. So I have never been alone in my life. Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her. But that's just not where we are.
But lately, things between Tia and Tamara aren't the same. Tamara's been dropping hints about boundaries, not returning to old situations, and growth. Comments that lines up oddly with the timing of Tia speaking about feeling lonely and possibly wanting reconciliation. Meanwhile, Corey said he's focused on healing and being a dad, hesitating to date, talking about how just holding hands on the street or walking down the street with somebody else feels a little frightening right now.
And right now, it's just like I'm still trying to figure out who I am right now, you know what I'm saying? Being, in a relationship for a while and being married for a while. And my priority is just like career and children. So right now, this is where I am today. Who knows, a year from now, where that may be.
20 years in one situation, it's a whole adjustment to even walk down the street with another person. This is different. I've been doing that over here, happy, sad, whatever. Switching it up is it's just...
Right. I mean, I haven't done that yet. So sometimes it just feels, the idea of it feels frightening. Like you just walking down the street and holding somebody else's hand or, having a girlfriend or date. It feels a little frightening right now.
You haven't broached this side of life at all?
You say broach.
And yet, rumors now swirl of a mystery woman linked to Corey, despite no confirmation or photos. Fans are side-eyeing the contrast. Tia sharing her journey of self-love and heartbreak, Tamara seemingly standing by, eyes rolling, and Corey quiet but reportedly moving forward. And the original story here, the one that stings most, is how long it's been since Tia said she could just pick up the phone and talk to her twin like she used to. Because that distance, that loss of closeness, makes everything leaking into rumors hit harder. But that's not all. Now let's rewind to why this new drama hit so hard. Because Tia and Corey weren't just a fling or Hollywood press couple. Their love story dates all the way back to 2005 when they met on the set of an indie film. Tia was already a star from Sister Sister, and Corey was just starting out. She even used to drive him home from work before romance sparked. They got engaged by Christmas 2006 and married in 2008. For over a decade, they were the poster couple. 2 kids, red carpets, and what fans thought was a picture-perfect marriage.
I see Corey as my partner in crime. It's like I'm not doing this alone.
Yeah. And Tia's been with me every step of the way. Through the ups and downs, the bad, the ugly, she knows ins and outs, everything. She knows it all. So it's I'd rather share that with somebody, for the rest of my life than someone who don't know you. And then when just say if everything was great, you don't know if it's genuine. You don't know. you don't know if it's real. You know, at least I know Tia got my back, you know, to the grave. So I know she's with me, and she knows I'm with her. And that's just, you know, everything's not perfect.
I do have a feeling and a sense of freedom following my divorce, mainly because I had been struggling for a minute about what is it that I felt was best for me. Thanks to intuition and trust in self, I was able to move through that and feel, you know, a sense of freedom.
Corey once said, "Tia got my back, you know, to the grave," and Tia often called him her partner in crime. But behind the smiles, Tia later admitted she was losing herself. Not because Corey was toxic, but because she was pouring into everyone but herself. Her decision to divorce in 2022 wasn't about failure, she said. It was about choosing happiness. Thanks to intuition and trust in self, I was able to move through that and feel a sense of freedom. That's why the new rumors sting, because her exit was supposed to be healing. But now Corey might be showing the world he's already flipped the page, and fans wonder if the two were ever really aligned. Their post-divorce paths couldn't be more different. Tia filming her new reality journey, My Next Act, openly sharing the pain of being newly single.
Has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close.
While Corey retreats in silence, and yet that silence may be speaking louder than anything Tia's posted. While Tia's been navigating solo life with a camera crew and heartfelt confessions, Corey's been on a different wavelength, private, poised, and possibly preparing for a quiet new romance. Despite once insisting he wasn't ready to date, saying it just feels frightening right now.
Right. I mean, I haven't done that yet, so it just, sometimes it just feels, the idea of it feels frightening. Like you just walking down the street and holding somebody else's hand, or, you know, having a girlfriend or date, like it feels a little frightening right now.
You haven't broached this side of life at all?
You say broach.
Corey's name is now being floated alongside a mystery woman. No confirmed photos, no red carpet debuts, but enough chatter to stir the pot. Fans aren't buying the sudden switch. How does someone go from saying they're too shaken to hold hands in public, to rumors of a soft-launched relationship? That disconnect is what's raising eyebrows. And as Tia hints at loneliness and reflection, being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. Corey's apparent pivot is casting doubt over how mutual that healing process really was.
You know, I've never dated. Corey was my first.
Right.
Everything.
A few years into the marriage, you realized I made a mistake. Tia, you shouldn't have to act in your life.
I would go home and feel alone.
What complicates it further is the silence. Corey's not reminiscing, not dropping nostalgia posts, not giving the press anything to chew on. Instead, he's rebranding, stepping out at premieres, landing roles, and making sure the headlines read Corey the actor, not Tia's ex. It's a subtle but powerful flex, and it sends a clear message. He's done playing the role of maybe. Meanwhile, the shade from Tamara only fuels the fire, especially when she talks about growth and boundaries at the exact time Tia's name is swirling with rumors of reconciliation. So now the dynamic is painfully clear. Tia might be reminiscing, but Corey's rewriting his story.
You've been very, very private about your separation and divorce from your wife, Tia Mowry. But what I love is like there's not drama surrounding you. What would you tell people who are going through the same thing that you went through about how to stay in that lane?
You said it, the kids. It's like the kids is like if you really love your children, you won't get involved in the noise or the mess. And I make sure that I always think about them first. I put myself last. So if you do that, you're gonna avoid the mess, right?
Okay, I love it!
Now here's where things take a personal turn, because this isn't just about a breakup. It's about identity, history, and the ache of realizing your forever didn't last. Tia and Corey weren't a fling. They were a Hollywood fairy tale 14 years deep, nearly 2 decades of shared memories, family routines, and raising 2 children. Corey wasn't just Tia's husband. He was her first everything. First love, first heartbreak, first true partner. And when you've built that kind of life, walking away doesn't erase the bond. I've never dated, Tia once admitted. Corey was my first everything. It makes sense why she might look back and wonder, especially when co-parenting means they never truly cut ties. Add in lonely nights, holidays spent apart, and the constant reminder that her family no longer looks the same. And you start to see the weight of that silence.
We a family, you know what I'm saying? We a family. No matter what people say, I block out the noise. At least I block out all the noise. And, you know, my kids is gonna live to see all this one day, like all this.
Meanwhile, Corey's calm demeanor post-divorce, avoiding drama, skipping tabloid mess only makes it harder. He didn't slam her in interviews, didn't stir up scandal, just quietly focused on his kids. Everything starts and ends with love, he said, explaining his mindset. That kind of peace can be confusing. It doesn't scream closure, but it sure doesn't scream hope either. And while Tia has to reintroduce herself to a dating world she's never known, Corey's energy says he's already moved on from the chapter she's still rereading. And just when Tia might be reflecting the most, Corey appears to be sending a message loud without saying a word. His complete silence on their past, no nostalgia posts, no sentimental shoutouts, is a statement in itself. When someone doesn't even entertain memories, they're not pausing, they're propelling forward. And Corey is doing just that. He's rebuilding his brand, reclaiming his narrative as more than Tia's husband. From solo red carpet appearances to landing acting roles that stand on their own, he's writing a new story where Tia's no longer a chapter. He even publicly credits opportunities like Tyler Perry's projects for reigniting his passion and success, saying, "The money had me acting different, right?" It's lighthearted, but it underscores a bigger message. Corey's focused on his future.
I'm okay.
The only times he speaks about personal life are strictly about fatherhood. We're a family no matter what people say, he explained. But those words don't extend to Tia. They're about his kids. No flirty co-parenting pics, no blended family energy, just clear boundaries. His growing circle of new industry contacts, noticeable lifestyle upgrades, and increasing detachment from his old orbit paint the picture of a man evolving, separate, steady, and intentional. He's showing the world and Tia that he's not looking back. And that realization stings far more than any public shade ever could. Now enter Tamara Mowry, who's been keeping things classy but sharp, with fans convinced she's subtly clowning her own sister. While she hasn't come out swinging, her carefully timed comments about boundaries, growth, and not revisiting old situations have raised eyebrows, especially since they align perfectly with the rumors of Tia allegedly trying to spin the block with Corey. It's not what Tamara's saying, it's when and how she's saying it that has everyone buzzing. Fans haven't forgotten Tia's vulnerable confession that after her divorce she felt more alone than ever, including a shocking revelation that her bond with Tamara had weakened. "It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close," Tia admitted. That moment turned heads. Suddenly, the once inseparable twins seemed like strangers, and now Tamara's cryptic interviews are reading like a warning shot.
Emotional intelligence is just so important.
I
to me,
understand that.
you being mindful of just who you are, your behaviors, your traumas, your triggers. Are you in therapy?
That's a good one.
Are you kind,
She hasn't directly addressed Tia or Corey, but the subtext screams volumes. Some think Tamara's drawing a line, making it known she doesn't support a reunion, and maybe never did. Her silence when Tia's name trends, and her calm detachment whenever Corey is mentioned fuels the theory that Tamara's not just staying out of it, she's disapproving from the sidelines. And for a duo known for their public sisterhood, this subtle tension has fans asking, is Tamara protecting her peace, or just done with Tia's emotional loop?
I don't know about y'all, but I don't feel bad for Alicia Keys. If you haven't heard what's going on, Alicia Keys has allegedly filed for divorce from her husband, citing that he has another baby on the way. It has also been said, allegedly, that he is sleeping with Lala Anthony. Yes. But I don't feel bad for Alicia Keys because when she met him, he was in a loving marriage with a beautiful black woman, and she broke this man's marriage up. Her name was Mashonda. Yeah. Mashonda called Alicia Keys a homewrecker. And I must agree, she is a homewrecker. You cannot build a home on another woman's pain. Karma will not miss. Yes, karma took a while to come back around, but karma don't miss, baby. It don't. So I'm trying to figure out why Alicia Keys is so mad. You didn't expect what you did to another woman to come back around to you?
Rule, she was like, treat people how you want to be treated. And that is always how I think about it.
Like, you built a home off another woman's pain, off another woman's tears, and you expect it to live happily ever after. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So no, I don't feel bad for Alicia Keys, not one bit. And I know the first wife, Mashonda, is laughing right now. She's laughing right now. What goes around comes on back around. How you get them is how you lose them.
The internet erupted when Alicia Keys allegedly accused Lala Anthony of being secretly engaged to her husband Swizz Beatz, dragging whispers from the shadows straight into the spotlight. What had once been quiet gossip among insiders suddenly became a full-blown scandal, with Alicia herself lighting the fuse. And this wasn't framed as a random emotional outburst. It felt like a carefully timed strike, the result of years of quiet observation and frustration boiling over. According to reports, Alicia had been connecting dots long before she went public. Cryptic social media captions, late-night link-ups that didn't make sense, and mysterious texts that raised questions she could no longer ignore. The energy shifted the moment Alicia went on the offensive, declaring that karma always comes back around, a statement many fans instantly connected to her own history with Swizz. That single phrase turned the entire drama into a cultural spectacle, because for years, critics had accused Alicia of stealing Swizz when he was still tied to his ex-wife Mashonda.
Now, that open letter to Alicia Keys on Twitter, let's all face it, that was very immature and very unprofessional. But she felt that was a way that she can reach Alicia Keys and get it off her chest, and so she can close that chapter in her life that she does not.
Now, the idea that she could lose him under similar circumstances became poetic justice in the eyes of some fans. Online comment sections exploded with people typing things like, "See how the tables turn, and the game always comes full circle." Alicia's decision to perform her hit song Karma while the scandal was unfolding only added fuel to the fire, with fans swearing the performance wasn't just music, it was a message. The story wasn't just about Lala anymore. It cracked open Alicia's marriage, Swizz's loyalty, and the unspoken reality that what begins in whispers doesn't always stay hidden forever. But as loud as that moment was, the drama didn't stop there.
I mean, we hang out with each other. We go to dinner together. Our family is one big, beautiful family. We're doing Thanksgiving. We're doing the holidays. We'll do a birthday celebration together. It is a beautiful partnership. I'm very, very proud of it.
Because soon, receipts started pouring in that made the situation even messier. Not long after Alicia's bombshell, fans started digging, and what they uncovered only added gasoline to the fire. Old photos, resurfaced interviews, and cryptic captions suddenly began to look like puzzle pieces falling into place. At the center of it all was Lala Anthony, whose friendship with Swizz Beatz had long raised eyebrows but was often brushed off as harmless industry camaraderie. Now, those lingering smiles, inside jokes, and public appearances were being re-examined through an entirely different lens. One viral thread highlighted their interaction at the Met Gala, pointing out how Lala leaned in close, showering Swizz with praise while cameras flashed, and how he grinned back with undeniable warmth.
Looks of the night, bro. You know, you're not doing too bad yourself. You come through and shut it down every single time. Tell me what you both are looking forward to tonight.
Just having fun and seeing a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time. You know, this is a night of art, supporting the Met as artists and collectors ourselves, and we just want to have fun and just have a New York state of mind.
Of course, you have so many big New York records.
At the time, fans chalked it up to New York pride, but in the context of these new allegations, it read as something more. Adding to the suspicion were claims that Alicia had been connecting these dots for years, waiting for the right moment to act. A source even suggested she wasn't blindsided at all. She had been quietly gathering information, piecing together late-night texts and public breadcrumbs until finally deciding to let the world in on what she suspected. And when she dropped the word karma, the internet took it as confirmation that she believed her marriage was circling the same storm that once surrounded its beginning. Suddenly, it wasn't just about whether Lala and Swizz had crossed a line, it was about whether Alicia had always known and was finally done pretending everything was perfect.
I felt like I had to protect myself from being hurt from people that I love. But I couldn't figure out how I was gonna make it.
But as fans obsessed over these resurfaced receipts, another layer of the scandal would soon push the narrative into overdrive. The scandal took an even sharper turn when fans started revisiting Swizz Beatz' history of over-the-top gestures toward the loudest example was a jaw-dropping $300,000 custom Maybach he reportedly gifted her for her birthday.
Period, huh?
All right, so are you pulling it back? Ready?
Okay, I don't know how to do this. You just go like this and you pull this.
Yeah, pull it back. Follow Egypt. Sheesh.
That's crazy.
Nah, that's.
This is crazy.
Nah, in person?
A car so rare it took 2 months to design and deliver. Swizz allegedly sprinkled his creative magic into Lala's career, remixing tracks and producing collaborations that blurred the lines between professional support and personal devotion. One collab even spiraled into controversy when rapper Marv Milley compared Alicia Keys to the R&B Rosa Parks while praising her artistry, which fans thought was wildly inappropriate considering the brewing scandal. Looking back, observers now say those gifts and collabs were less about genuine friendship and more about distraction, extravagant smokescreens meant to keep eyes off what was happening behind the curtain. Critics point out that love bombing is a classic tactic used to cover guilt or maintain control, and in this case, the pattern fit too neatly. To many, it looked like Swizz was building a wall of noise around himself, buying time while the truth crept closer. Alicia's silence during these years is now being reinterpreted too. Was she simply being gracious, or was she watching closely, waiting to see how far the game would go? Either way, the narrative shifted. What once looked like luxury now looked like evidence. And just when the internet was still reeling from the Maybach story,
Swizz Beatz, former big-time producer, married to Alicia Keys, has recently been accused of having an affair with Lala. Now, who knows? The key word here is accused, and he did the right thing. He jumped right in front of it, got on Instagram like, hell no, ain't nothing going on with me and Lala. Lala did the right thing too. Kept her mouth shut, didn't say a word. But if this is true on any level, 3 things can be put together from here that are teachable moments for y'all. Hear me out when I say these 3 things. Number 1 is karma is undefeated. Number 2, a person who has nothing to lose will help you lose everything. And number 3, hurt people.
Another rumor dropped that turned everything upside down. Just when people thought the story couldn't get any messier, another twist exploded across the blogs. Rumors that Swizz Beatz had allegedly gotten another woman pregnant. And not Alicia, not Lala, but an entirely different woman altogether. The whispers claimed she was a white woman, and the internet absolutely lost its mind. Swizz got a white side chick pregnant? Became the headline blasting across social feeds, instantly dragging Alicia right back into the storm. For fans, this wasn't just scandal, it was betrayal layered on betrayal. If true, it meant Alicia wasn't just competing with Lala's alleged presence, but with yet another woman behind the scenes, proving that the chaos wasn't isolated but systemic. The timeline receipts made it worse. People began cross-checking dates, public appearances, and studio sessions, convinced the dots connected in ways that made Swizz look like a man living double, even triple lives.
Karma will not miss. Yes, karma took a while to come back around, but karma don't miss, baby. It don't. So I'm trying to figure out why Alicia Keys is so mad. You didn't expect what you did to another woman to come back around to you? Like, you built a home off another woman's pain, off another woman's tears, and you expect it to live happily ever after. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So no, I don't feel bad for Alicia Keys, not one bit. And I know the first wife, Mashonda, is laughing right now. She's laughing right now. What goes around comes on back around. How you get them is how you lose them.
And while Lala had been painted as the potential other woman, this new rumor complicated her role, suggesting maybe she wasn't the only one caught in Swizz's web. Alicia's fans began to speculate that her calm demeanor wasn't grace at all, but exhaustion, the kind of quiet strength you adopt when you're too tired to keep fighting the same battles. The chatter grew darker when parallels were drawn between this rumor and the early days of Swizz's relationship with Alicia, back when Mashonda accused him of stepping out before their divorce was even finalized. To critics, it looked like a cycle repeating itself. The flashy gifts, the secret whispers, the sudden scandals that erupt just as the image of a happy family is being carefully staged. And now, with a possible pregnancy thrown into the mix, the speculation reached fever pitch. Suddenly, this wasn't just about Alicia, Lala, or one marriage. It was about a pattern, a storm that had been gathering for years and was finally breaking wide open. Long before Alicia Keys ever threw Lala Anthony's name into the spotlight, fans swear the signs of chemistry between Lala and Swizz Beatz had been there for years. The whispers date back to moments where their energy stood out, subtle but undeniable. Insiders recall how they often drifted into their own little bubble during group outings, sharing private jokes and holding smiles that lingered just a second too long. Even more telling was the Met Gala appearance that fans still point to as a major red flag. On that red carpet, Lala leaned into Swizz with non-stop praise, her voice glowing with admiration while cameras flashed all around them. Swizz, for his part, didn't shy away. He grinned, laughed, and matched her energy with the ease of a man far too comfortable. At the time, most shrugged it off as playful banter, the kind of casual exchange celebrities often share in front of the press. But years later, when the engagement rumors surfaced, those old clips resurfaced too, and the vibe looked completely different. Fans described it as undeniable chemistry hiding in plain sight, insisting the body language alone was enough to fuel suspicion. Critics now argue that the scandal didn't just appear out of thin air, it was the natural conclusion of years of subtle interactions that had been simmering under the surface. What once seemed harmless suddenly looked like a breadcrumb trail leading straight to today's chaos. For many, the biggest question became not whether Lala and Swizz crossed boundaries, but how long Alicia had been noticing the signs. Was she blindsided by the allegations, or had she been keeping quiet while everyone else missed what was right in front of them?
A leaked recording recently surfaced online, and based on what people are saying, it sounds like Swizz and Lala were involved in something that they could not really explain. This is giving caught in the act, not friendly giving. People are now piecing together the details and discovering on the internet that this idyllic marriage may have been in disarray even before the tape was released.
That's the chilling part, because if the foundation was cracking years ago, then Alicia's public composure may not be grace at all, but survival. As the scandal snowballed, fans began noticing a pattern with Lala Anthony that made the whispers around Swizz Beatz even harder to dismiss. Every time blogs linked her to a powerful man, another name would conveniently pop up to muddy the waters. First, it was a wealthy New York businessman, then a mysterious figure nobody could even pin down, and now Swizz at the center of the storm. Lala never confirmed, never denied. She just kept moving, booked and busy, leaving the internet to speculate while her name stayed hot in the headlines. To some, this looked like strategy, a way of leveraging constant buzz to stay relevant in the spotlight. To others, it painted her as a victim of gossip, unfairly dragged into narratives that refused to die. But the real twist came when fans started comparing her story with Alicia Keys' public response.
Now, I don't know who this Lala person is, but they say Lala is supposed to be the side chick and she's supposed to be pregnant. Come on. The news today, this is what they say. They say Alicia Keys got a divorce from Swizz, whatever his name is, her husband. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Swizz Beatz. First of all, I was not in your mess, Alicia Keys, but I do love you. You my girl, and Swizz Beatz, I really never cared for you because you cheated on your first wife to get Alicia Keys.
While Lala thrived on visibility, Alicia leaned into silence, posting about light, healing, and inner peace while the storm around her intensified. To her supporters, this was grace under fire, proof that she was above the mess. But to her critics, it was calculation, a way of holding her cards close while she quietly sized up the battlefield. And that contrast, Lala's loud visibility against Alicia's quiet restraint, became the focal point of the drama. People wondered, was Alicia truly unbothered, or was she simply waiting for the perfect moment to flip the table? After all, it wasn't just about her marriage anymore. With every resurfaced clip of Lala and Swizz laughing on red carpets, with every reminder of his extravagant gifts and cryptic posts, Alicia's silence looked less like peace and more like power. She didn't need to defend herself. The receipts were already piling up. But as the tension grew, one thing became clear. This wasn't just about Lala or even about Swizz. It was about Alicia's control of the narrative, and whether she'd finally reached the point of no return. By the time the scandal hit full throttle, Swizz Beatz looked like a man trapped in a maze of his own making, juggling too many roles, too many masks, and far too many contradictions.
So you know what they say, what goes around, come around. Karma, we right in your face. Now this is what they say. I don't know. They say Swizz Beatz got the side chick pregnant. Just what they say. They say their divorce is final. But I like Alicia Keys, but Alicia Keys, now, you know that man was married before you married him. You already know he was married. You should know how this is going to end. It's not going to be cutesy. It's not going to be marvelous. It's not going to be none of that. It should be released because the way you got him, baby, is the way you lost him.
One moment, he was the picture-perfect husband beside Alicia Keys, praising her artistry at charity galas, and posting captions filled with love and loyalty. The next, he was grinning ear to ear in viral clips with Lala Anthony, or showering mystery women with extravagant gifts that screamed anything but restraint. Fans started to call him out as a magician, always distracting with one hand while pulling tricks with the other. And social media didn't hold back. One viral comment summed it up brutally. "Man out here preaching loyalty while shopping Maybachs for side chicks." The hypocrisy was too loud to ignore. As the mess deepened, the internet split into camps. Team Alicia, who praised her poise and believed she was rising above it all. Team Lala, who argued she was unfairly painted as a villain. And the smaller but vocal Team Swizz, insisting he was just a misunderstood creative caught in the crossfire. But the blogs weren't buying the misunderstood act. They dug up every cryptic lyric, every throwback interview, every studio snapshot that hinted at blurred boundaries. What stood out most were his repeated references to loyalty, sprinkled across captions like a man writing subtext only his wife could decode. To Alicia's supporters, this was proof of guilt dressed up as devotion. To critics, it was a pattern that exposed the cracks in his carefully curated image. And with each side staking its claim, the scandal no longer felt like gossip. It felt like a cultural spectacle, a storyline bigger than any reality show, and one that wasn't finished yet. As the scandal reached fever pitch, the contrast between Alicia Keys and Lala Anthony became impossible to ignore. Alicia doubled down on her image as the queen of calm, filling her social media with posts about light, healing, and spiritual growth. To some, it was inspiring, a woman choosing grace over chaos. But to others, it looked like coded messages, subtle jabs disguised as wisdom. Every post about peace was met with comments asking if she was shading Lala, and every mention of loyalty felt like a veiled shot at Swizz. Meanwhile, Lala moved in the opposite direction. Instead of silence, she leaned into visibility, showing up at high-profile events, smiling for cameras and acting unbothered while her name trended nonstop. For her supporters, it was strength, proof she wouldn't let gossip drag her down. For her critics, it was strategy, a way of staying relevant and feeding the fire while never confirming or denying anything. The split between them created two competing narratives, Alicia as the graceful queen holding her crown steady, and Lala as the defiant star refusing to be dimmed. And then there was Swizz, caught in the middle, moving like a man trying to wear both masks at once. He played the role of devoted husband in one moment and carefree industry insider in the next, a juggling act that only fueled more suspicion. What fans couldn't agree on was whether Alicia's silence meant she already knew everything and was waiting to strike, or if she was simply too exhausted to keep fighting battles in public. Either way, their contrasting moves only poured gasoline on the flames, proving that this wasn't just scandal, it was now a three-way chess game being played out in front of millions.
Not around with Swizz and not breaking up happy homes. Like, people are forgetting when she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with them, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house. And then she moved in while she was cool with the wife. It's plotting to steal her husband to cover up the fact that she's a dyke and she just got caught beating that girlfriend of hers up down there in Aruba somewhere or something like that.
When fans looked back at Swizz Beatz' history, the scandal with Lala Anthony started to feel less like a shocking twist and more like deja vu. Long before Alicia Keys ever entered the picture, Mashonda Tefrere, Swizz's ex-wife, warned the world about the patterns now resurfacing. She admitted to her own missteps but made it clear that Alicia stepped in while Swizz was still legally married. According to Mashonda, she was blindsided by the divorce papers and devastated when Swizz and Alicia tied the knot just months later. The public saw a polished, blended family smiling for photos, but many fans never forgot Mashonda's raw confession. One viral comment still echoes today. Swizz broke that woman's heart and then photoshopped over the pain with happy family pictures. That memory hit harder as rumors about Lala began to pile up. Critics argued it looked like the same cycle repeating, extravagant gifts, distracting public displays of love, and whispers of betrayal swirling in the background. History, they said, was simply catching up. The seeds planted during the chaos of 2010 had never really been buried, and now they were sprouting all over again. For Alicia, this parallel wasn't just painful, it was public. The very timeline she once defended was being dragged back into the spotlight, forcing people to ask if karma had finally arrived. And for Lala, stepping into this storm meant inheriting all the baggage of a love story that had never been clean in the first place. What once looked like isolated gossip now read like the continuation of a messy legacy, one where every chapter seemed destined to repeat the one before it. By the time the whispers hit their peak, the internet had already reached its own verdict, and it was brutal. Blogs and Twitter threads exploded with speculation that Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz were headed for divorce, a rumor that stunned fans who once thought their bond was unshakable.
She was like, treat people how you want to be treated. And that is always how I think about it.
Comment sections lit up with the same biting phrase, "You lose them the same way you get them." It became the slogan of the scandal, a haunting reminder of the messy timeline that began when Swizz left Mashonda and immediately built a life with Alicia.
Even Tasha K discussed it in the past, after all.
Both of them are married. Both of them are in high-profile, controversial relationships. Swizz is married to Alicia Keys. Y'all keep saying Alicia Keys stole that man. You can't steal nothing, okay? That don't belong to you. I just want to put that out there, okay? Carmelo has been embarrassing Lala before her body and after her body, okay?
Now, with Lala Anthony's name caught in the mix and whispers of another woman's pregnancy making the rounds, fans argued that Alicia was finally facing the karma she once tried to rise above. For many, the irony was too sharp to ignore. Alicia had once been labeled the other woman, and now she was fighting rumors of being on the receiving end of betrayal. The internet, ruthless as ever, turned every resurfaced clip and every cryptic lyric into evidence, dissecting Swizz's past posts for hidden meanings and calling out his contradictions. Even Alicia's carefully curated image of light and healing came under fire, with some questioning whether her spiritual calm was genuine or just a mask. Meanwhile, Lala was branded everything from homewrecker to scapegoat, her silence only fueling speculation about her role in the saga. What was once personal pain had spiraled into a cultural spectacle, one where fans weren't just watching, they were writing the ending in real time. And with every new rumor stacking on the last, it felt less like gossip and more like the inevitable collapse of a love story that was shaky from the start. At this point, what began as whispers of a love triangle has morphed into something far larger, a storyline fans call history repeating itself in plain sight. Mashonda's painful words still echo, reminding everyone that Alicia once entered Swizz's life under controversy, and many argue the cycle has simply come full circle. Every flashy gift, every cryptic lyric, every picture-perfect family post now feels like a bandage slapped over wounds that never fully healed. The internet is treating it like a live soap opera, with Team Alicia praising her grace, Team Lala defending her independence, and a small but loud Team Swizz insisting he's misunderstood. But the blogs aren't letting up, pulling receipts, comparing timelines, and calling out contradictions until the narrative becomes impossible to control. Even Alicia's mantra of light and healing feels overshadowed by the storm around her, with fans speculating if her calm composure is wisdom or denial. Meanwhile, Lala's silence has turned into its own form of power, keeping her relevant while refusing to play by the script written for her. And Swizz, he's the magician in the middle, juggling masks while the world waits for one to finally slip. The phrase "you lose them how you get them" has become the haunting chorus of the drama, suggesting that no matter how hard they spin it, karma has already taken the stage. Whether this ends with divorce papers, a public reconciliation, or another shocking twist, one thing is certain: the saga has transcended celebrity gossip and cemented itself as a cultural spectacle, proof